Well, here we had all of this fun, exciting superhero action for the last 2 weeks. Well, let's depress everyone by talking about Vietnam. That's right, we're talking about our Revue Turn on Random Movies 5 winner with the Oliver Stone classic, Platoon. How is this going to fare with us? Is it going to harsh our mellow man? We'll find out in a very... Are we supposed to be here edition of the Revue. Let's get the fuck out of Nam, man.
Welcome to the Revue, a show where two small-town dudes give you our big-time opinions. I'm Short of the Max. Extreme.
I barely understood what you said, but I'm on board.
Sweet. That's going to be the whole show.
Okay.
Just like this.
Yo, just going to talk like this all the whole time.
We are diving in to our fifth tourney winner.
We've had so many.
Can you believe we're already up number 5?
Number 5.
Diving into a classic film.
Yeah.
Platoon.
First
time I've ever seen it, JT. Was this watching right here?
It's probably going to be the only time you ever watch it. We'll see. We'll see.
Boy, we'll see. We have hints of what we think, because we had a bit of a back and forth before this.
Yeah.
But we will get into that.
Doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that it's a lot. Maybe
a slight opinion spoilers. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
But before we take a deep dive into the deep end with Platoon, why don't we just wade in the shallow end a little bit?
Yeah.
Why don't we dabble in a little bit of news?
Yeah, we don't want to get far from the shallow now.
No.
Come on.
No.
Star is Born.
And when I say we're going to start out small, let's start out big, JT.
Whoa!
This bit of news actually caught me by surprise, and Chelsea actually let me in on this little bit of news.
Oh, okay.
Which I find very interesting.
Okay.
So China is the number 2 movie-going audience in the world.
China.
Only closing in on the United States very quickly. Their international box offices are huge.
We gotta beat the markets in China.
Netflix, another juggernaut, has just released a Chinese blockbuster to their streaming service to little to no affair or fanfare of anything. No, no one even noticed this movie came out.
Oh, man.
And this movie made $700 million in the Chinese box office.
Is it on, American Netflix? You can watch it on American Netflix?
It's on there right now.
Troy, I don't want to do any producing on air or anything, but we have a free week next week.
We should do it.
Okay.
Because it came out very recently.
Yeah.
And it's the 3rd highest grossing movie of 2019 worldwide.
Oh, God.
And nobody's heard of it. Doesn't this blow your mind?
We could be at the forefront here.
Yes, the only things that have beaten it are Endgame and Captain Marvel so far.
Okay.
So, it's called The Wandering Earth, and I saw a trailer for it because she told me right before we started recording here.
Yeah.
And it looks interesting.
Okay.
And it looks like it has a huge budget.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell what was going on because it was less of a trailer and more of a scene. And it's the Earth is just floating around freely in space, I guess. And it's on a collision course with Jupiter pretty soon.
Oh, shit.
That's what's happening in the trailer, this pseudo trailer. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And it has me, color me intrigued.
You are a certain shade of intrigued right now.
So, because I've never even heard of this movie, its worldwide box office is $700 million.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was released in the U.S. If it was, very minimally.
Yeah.
So most of that box office is completely Chinese.
China.
That's a terrible impression. So It's the second highest grossing film in China ever.
Yeah.
Still no fanfare. What is happening here?
I don't know. Well, we've covered the first two highest grossing movies this year.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well cover the third.
Just go down the line.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Look for our show on The Wandering Earth
Yes.
next week.
It's on Netflix for nothing.
For free.
Check
we gotta
it
pay
out.
for Netflix.
Check it out.
But yeah, check it out. Get back to us. We're gonna do it for next week then.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
We're doing it.
We're doing it.
Look at us. We're doing it. Moving on, JT, to some more movie news. Let's stay in the movies.
Let's go in the movies.
So we talked about the Sonic trailer last week.
Okay.
A bit, didn't we?
No, we didn't, because we...
because we did a weird schedule last week.
Yep. We'll talk about that then. Do you want to talk about
I'll
it now?
lump in this news then when we talk about the trailer
Okay.
then.
Okay.
More movie news, JT.
Movie news.
A cliffhanger reboot is in
Yeah.
the works. You hear about
I
this?
just saw this.
Hear about this?
See about this?
It is going to be starring a female lead and apparently going to be having a cameo by Jason Momoa himself.
Aw, of course, man loves doing manly things.
That's right.
Even when it's womanly things.
So, well, did you ever see the first cliffhanger and enjoy it?
I wanted to see it. I have not seen it.
I know John Lithgow's in that movie.
Yeah, John Lithgow's like the villain.
What? I don't know what's ever going on in that. My mom and dad seem to always have it on at weird times.
I just remember the spoof of it from Ace Ventura When Nature
That's
Calls.
all that I remember, too. I know somebody falls off a cliff
Yeah.
in Cliffhanger.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Seen that scene.
I seen it.
I seen it with my own eyes.
I was there, man. I was in the shit. Platoon.
But otherwise, I'm not very excited about this. I don't know. Cliffhanger.
I'll see what they do with it.
We'll see what they do with it.
Maybe
But
might give it some Chinese budget or something.
Maybe they'll throw it in China.
Yeah.
Who knows? Throw it in China, just
Throw
like
it in
X-Pac.
China. Oh no.
That's a joke only a few people will grossly get. Oh, I got something kind of strange. The Hateful Eight is actually going to be on Netflix as a mini-series.
Really?
They're just going to take the movie and break it up into like 6 parts.
I saw that they put an extended cut on Netflix, but I have yet to watch it.
I've never seen it. So
That's right, because you weren't on for the review that me and Dinosaur Neil did while you... That was like that month where like you just couldn't make it to the theater.
it was either that or like my work schedule was super shitty that month. I don't remember.
Yeah, because we had to bring in Neil to do The Revenant and Hateful Eight.
What in a theme month where I should probably have caught all of the movies, but I didn't.
You caught like the worst ones.
I saw Bonesaw Tomahawk or whatever it is.
Bonesaw Hackbone?
Bonesaw Jackbone. What's it called?
Bone Tomahawk.
Not Bonesaw Tomahawk.
Bonesaw Hackbone, like C. Danger likes to lovingly call it.
So I saw that one. You know what? That movie still sticks with me for whatever reason.
There's some gross shit in it.
Yeah. I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I like those memories.
But did you like it better than the Ridiculous Six?
Yes.
That shitting donkey?
I completely forgot about that movie, so thanks for reliving that memory.
Yeah. Something I didn't bring up on our Ridiculous Six review, though. Little add-on to our Ridiculous Six review. There was actually a funny part that involved baseball in it.
What?
Yeah. Like the part where like the guy was inventing baseball, and every time they started beating him, he made up a new rule that was stupid. That's an actual rule in baseball.
I don't remember that movie.
That was like
all.
the only part that I liked about it.
I don't remember. I remember the donkey shit scene. That's like all I remember.
That's all I remember is a donkey shit scene and then the baseball scene because it was so funny because like he just starts running around the base. He's like, "Hey, it's not your turn, man." Oh, well, you can steal bases. That's a rule.
Oh, damn it. Don't make me want to go back and watch this movie for one part.
That's the only scene in it that's funny.
So the other bits of news I got are kind of small time stuff, but I found them somewhat interesting. So U.S. Senator is introducing a bill to ban loot boxes and microtransactions in video games.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I thought it was a good idea too, but like, really, is that their territory?
Yeah, I don't know.
Shouldn't people just like vote with their dollars and like
Maybe they
not
should
pay for all that
Maybe
shit?
they should find out a way to give us a decent healthcare plan.
Yeah, thank you.
So, like, I'm not being like, oh, I'm sure this shoulder that's probably dislocated is fine. I don't want to go to the doctor and end up paying like $1,000 for an x-ray that's going to just tell me, rest it.
Yeah. Put it in a sling for a weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a little fun. A little quick bit of news. A little quick bit of news here. Part 2. Nest is a partner with Google for smart home stuff. Very soon, Nest will not be available for IFTTT, personalized actions, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, IFT. You know all about that. If this, then that.
Yeah. Sure.
Do you know it or do you not know it?
I don't know it.
God damn it.
Or no, I think Molly found that's like an app or something.
Yes,
where it's like
it's an
okay.
app.
So
you can say like when I come home and say good day, your lights will turn on or whatever.
Okay.
And you can program to do that.
Yeah.
Well, because Google has their own functions to do that now, they're taking it off IFTTT if you're into that smart home stuff.
Gotcha.
So that'll be all I'm going to get into that because nobody
I was a big
fucking
fan
cares.
of blankly staring at you.
And me just, do you know it or no? I think I'm just going to start calling you out of your shit now.
What is like blankly stare off in the distance like, yeah.
Do you know it? Don't shit with me.
You know, like something like that last week too, like something about Nicktoons where I was like, yeah, I like Nicktoons. Like, well, which one, idiot?
Last bit of news I got, JT. Even though I'm not into this, I want to ask you how Game of Thrones is. Because I've been hearing mixed things.
Yeah, it's
about this last season here.
Like I said before, like when I talked about like the premiere, like it feels like one of those shows that's getting way too popular for its own good, where I think the writers are starting to second guess themselves because they don't want to alienate a bunch of people. Like it's very fan servicey at times.
Is it? So like I was talking with somebody who's up to date with it, and I know nothing about it, and they were saying like for them personally, it wasn't as good as what it previously was.
Yeah.
Now that they're like out of the books
Yeah.
or whatever. But I was saying like at this point, shouldn't it write itself? Like all this is leading up to like a natural progression, right?
Yeah.
I know Game of Thrones likes to turn things on its ear a lot and just like subvert expectations.
Mm-hmm.
But like, wouldn't at this point, like it's kind of like leading to a head, right?
Yeah, but even the head could also be something that you don't expect either. Like a lot of it, like even like a lot of the things where they were big looming threats through the whole series, they're just kind of like, well, shit, we got to take care of this like now. Like it's just like they were given one more season and they didn't think about, oh fuck, this is a really big thing. We probably should have started wrapping up like last season, but now we're at this point.
Oh boy.
So, like, I don't know. Like, it feels like a lot of the things that they should have spent more time with are just kind of wrapping up to get to things that they're more comfortable with talking about.
Uh-huh.
And, yeah, and then, like, a lot of, like, the things they do on here is, like, really fan servicey. And then, like the stuff that they're being like, you didn't see that coming. And it's like, yeah, I didn't see it coming because it's kind of stupid. Whereas, like, the things that they did before that, like when you go back and rewatch it, you're like, of course this happened, because like you just don't expect it to happen to them, because like you almost kind of like imagine like the plot armor where it's like, well, nothing's gonna happen to this person,
right?
But yet every single action they've done has led to this point where it's like, fuck, I should have seen it coming. I just never thought they'd die because they're like the first build.
Yeah, the main character.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know. Maybe it is because they're just trying to wrap things up and everything's starting to get a little predictable. But it's like, well, we got to do something because we're going to end it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see what happens when it's all said and done.
How many episodes
2 more.
are left? And the whole thing's done then.
And it's all donezo. And then I guess HBO is like talking about doing like 3 prequel series where it's like, Jesus Christ.
Why don't you just finish the one you have
Just
first?
be done.
You know what's funny to me is that, like, this could be like a highly critically acclaimed series, but if it ends poorly, people will just shit on it. Like, 7 years of great television, and then the last season kind of stinks, and they're like, it sucked.
And I won't even say like it would suck. It's just that, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like Breaking Bad was starting to get to that point when they were ending it up, where it was like, I think they ended it just at the right time.
Yeah, I agree.
Where I feel like if they would have gone on anymore, it would have been like, oh, what are you doing?
And I even feel like the last season of Breaking Bad sometimes tread water and went to places that I didn't really care that they went.
Yeah. Like, after they got rid of Gus, I feel like they had a little bit to work with on, like, building Walter with this giant kingpin, and then when they got to, like, a point where they plateaued, and then it was like...
Now what?
Now what? We don't really know. We got like 4 more episodes left. We don't know where to go.
Yeah.
So, here we go.
It was a great...
No, yeah, it's still... Yeah, like I said, like, it's still good. And I feel like, in a way, I think that's what Game of Thrones is going to be like, where it's not bad television, it just kind of sucks because... It's not what it was.
Yeah, I see that.
Like, you can definitely tell it's being helmed by somebody different than what it was when it was first created.
All right. Good input. Good input on a show that I don't watch. But
You're welcome.
But I appreciate your opinion for our fans.
Good. Good.
That's all the news I have as well.
All right. Okay. I'm surprised you brought up Game of Thrones even.
Well, threw a Game of Thrones twist at you.
I'm all of a sudden, I've been stabbed. I don't know how this happened.
We are drinking this episode some leftover Shiners from a previous poker night.
Oh, yes.
I have in my hand the light blonde. Pretty tasty. This is from the Shiner Brewery in Texas. Texas? I have had other stuff of theirs too, and it's usually pretty good.
Oh yeah, I enjoy me some Shiners. Troy.
Yeah.
The MCU, their Phase 4 is gonna be jetting up pretty soon once we have this Spider-Man Far From Home coming out. But when are these films going to start coming out, you ask?
Yeah, when are they going to come out?
When the hell?
I ask.
Well, Troy, we're actually going to have a little bit of a reprieve from the MCU.
Oh, my.
Because after Far From Home, the next one won't come out till May 1st of 2020. So we got almost a full year to wait.
All right.
For your next Marvel film.
That's okay. That's all right. I heard this... Far From Home's a bit of a send-off to like an epilogue almost to the Phase 3.
Yeah.
So it'd be good for just a little bit of a breather.
Yeah.
And then kind of like get a taste for it again and like wait a year and it comes back and then you love it again. Hopefully. What's the first one on the docket? Is it the Black Widow movie?
I don't know. I didn't see... They
posted dates.
They posted the dates, but not the movies that go with the dates.
Okay. I would assume it would be Black Widow because it's already in production.
Yeah.
I don't think anything else is that I can think of. Anyway, sounds good.
There you go.
Sounds good.
Troy got a little bit of a preview for what could be a show on our test pilot episode.
Okay.
And this one already sounds terrible.
Oh, great.
NBC is ordering to series a show called Council of Dads, where a guy finds out that he's dying of cancer, so he enlists his 3 best friends to act his fatherly duties while he gets chemo treatments.
Come on. That sounds terrible. I mean, it sounds incredibly sad. So it's like another This Is Us, but sadder?
It sounds like the fucking... what was the show? Where the guy commits suicide.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought of.
It sounds just like another version of that.
Oh, brother.
God.
Is that still going?
I think so. I think they ordered another season of it.
Huh. Okay. Oh, I didn't hate that one.
Man, I got like 3 episodes in, and then it's so... I won't say it's melodramatic, but it's just they draw out everything about it. Like, everything has to be this big emotional thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, he's gone! He's gone, man! He's not coming back! It's like, I just asked you what you want from McDonald's. He's not coming back. We've always got left. We gotta keep his memory alive. And then throw it to some emotional flashback.
Right.
I almost died! And then he died first! So then I didn't die! I was also fucking his wife!
Or whatever it is.
His death cured my cancer!
God. I'm sick of that shit. I mean, I know there's an audience for it, right? Yeah. And everybody can like something, but this is not the thing for me. I hate like going into a show knowing that I'm just going to be cripplingly sad.
This is like one of the shows that we like the most.
Yeah, I know.
That's the funny thing about it.
What are we doing? More news?
Got some more news, Troy, on Detective Pikachu. That's coming out this weekend.
Okay.
Of course. And Ryan Reynolds decided to share it with the world.
Yeah, I saw that.
By tweeting a pirated version of it that's on YouTube. So, yeah. Hey, maybe we'll do a doubleheader. We'll do that China movie and Detective Pikachu.
I wonder if it's still up. Should I check?
Yeah. Hey, if we can watch Detective Pikachu, we'll do a twofer.
Yeah, let's Ryan Reynolds. What does he got to say? Yeah. Is
the link still there? Does the link work?
I'm
Okay.
playing it.
Well,
it's still there.
Maybe we'll do Detective Pikachu next week too.
It's the #7 trending thing on YouTube.
I want to go home real quick and watch Detective Pikachu in bed.
It's even in HD.
Really?
Wait a minute. It has a Ryan Reynolds watermark on the top corner of this.
What is happening? Zoom ahead a little bit and see if it's parts of the movie.
Like, not a trick?
Yeah, like it's not like Never Gonna Give You Up.
Oh, it's a troll.
Damn it.
It's just Pikachu dancing like this for an hour and 42 minutes.
Oh, son of a bitch. Well, we'll review that then.
It's still the #7 trending thing. That's funny as hell.
He ain't dumb. Troy Roland Emmerich.
Yeah.
He loves fucking up the earth.
Boy,
in all of his movies. Well, he's gonna do it again with his next film, Moonfall.
Is that finally coming out?
Yeah,
I remember
it's
bringing
coming
this
out
up years ago.
It's coming out at Cannes this year.
Oh, okay.
So it's on its way.
The moon?
Where the moon is gonna crash into Earth.
I literally think I knew that movie was coming out before, like, Infinity War came out. Where Thanos already threw a moon to Earth, or whatever it was.
Yeah. Roland Emmerich just watched Infinity War and was like, God damn it, I stole my...
I should have jumped on that Moonfall idea. Anyway, good for him.
I wasn't even going to make a giant alien throw it, too. I've not gotten around to watching it yet, but What We Do in the Shadows, the FX show, I guess it's been getting pretty good praise because it's getting a season 2.
Cool.
So I have to check that out.
I caught, while I was on a bit of a vacation, checked out, like, the last 15 minutes of it, of an episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. was really funny.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to check it out then.
I don't know if I didn't really have any connection to the characters that were in it because I didn't watch anything else.
Yeah.
But I was like, this is pretty good.
Good.
It is right aligned with the movie.
Oh man, to get on that shit. Then.
Yeah, it's good.
Let's see here. Troy got some Eternals news.
Okay.
Eternals mixed with Game of Thrones news.
What?
I guess Richard Madden from Game of Thrones. Of course, you know him, Troy, as Robb Stark.
Yeah, my homeboy.
Yeah.
Robbie Stark.
I love that guy.
Yep.
You think he's going to die in the last episode, Troy?
Is he already dead?
He's already dead.
Nailed it. I thought it was a trick and I nailed it.
Damn it, I thought I had you. Anyways, Richard Madden is going to be in the Eternals movie where he's going to be playing... fuck. It came up before. Shit. I can't remember who he's going to be.
Is it Icarus?
It might be. Yeah, I think it might be Icarus.
I like how you just gave up.
I just give up.
Yeah, it might be Icarus. I don't give a shit anymore.
But, so there you go. He's going to be joining Angelina Jolie. So we'll see how that plays out.
Also, Kumail Nanjiani's in that movie, too. Do you know that?
Jesus, he's just raking in all that money.
He's getting in everything now.
He's in that. He's in Men in Black.
Striking while it's hot.
Striking while it's hot.
Let me look this up. Eternals movie film. News. Looking up the news. Marvel's Eternals movie, courting Game of Thrones star Richard Madden. Yes, it is Icarus.
Okay.
I don't know anything about the Eternals besides what little knowledge I bestowed on you weeks ago.
Okay.
That it sounds weird and I'm surprised they're doing it at all. So let's see. Maybe that one's the one coming out next to May. And it'll return with a whimpering fart.
Return with a big WTF.
yeah, for sure.
Well, that's all my news, Troy, but I do have a bit.
So do I.
It's probably the same one.
Probs.
But we're going to play the music anyways for Neil's Bits.
People dying, it's the pits. Please stay tuned to Neil's Bits.
Okay, so it's gotta be done, right?
No. Gotta wait.
That was almost 10 minutes I waited.
Gotta fucking wait.
Okay.
There we go now.
Okay, all right.
I was gonna end it with a fitting sound effect, but I missed it because you were talking.
God damn it.
I'm gonna play it again. Troy, you fucked it up. Gotta play it again.
All right.
You put this on yourself, Troy.
All right.
People dying, it's the pits. Please stay tuned to Neil's Bits.
We're literally wasting a minute now. 26 seconds times 2.
Now
That's almost a minute.
It must be done by now.
No, it's here we go. Wait for it. It's getting to the end.
Ah, very good.
See?
Very good. I really thought about interrupting you again. But then I'm
Don't test me, man. I'm here all night. I'll be here all goddamn night.
Yeah. Peter Mayhew passed away April 30th by complications of a heart attack at 74 years old.
Yeah.
The actor played the titular Chewbacca
Yeah.
in the Star Wars films. He was a lovable giant. I think he was like 7'4",
Jesus,
or something like that. He had health complications, most likely due to being huge,
so big.
all of his life. And I think he actually was wheelchair bound during The Force Awakens.
Oh man.
And he had spinal surgery afterwards and was getting actually better, so he could actually be more mobile.
Oh, nice.
And then he had complications of pneumonia
Ugh.
after that, and then ended up having a heart attack on April 30th. So that was right before Star Wars Day, May the 4th, this last weekend. So that day was a big memorial to the actor who passed. So it was a good... Yeah. I mean, it was a fitting celebration of his career.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Lots of Chewbacca
love.
Chewbacca love.
Chewbacca love.
Gotta love it.
Yeah. So, Peter Mayhew, rest in peace.
Yes.
You will be missed.
Go to that big Kashyyyk in the sky.
That's right. So then...
It's done.
It's done. And I want to get into this Sonic trailer.
Let's talk about this Sonic trailer.
So...
I've been waiting almost an entire week. Because I think it came out the day after we recorded.
I think you're right. Yeah, it did come out the day after. So it is strange. One, the music choice is very bizarre. They play Gangster's Paradise during it.
Yeah. And Sonic looks like a person in a furry onesie with really spiky hair.
Yeah. He looked so bad that the fan outcry actually made the director go back and change the model of Sonic. So I feel bad for all of the animators that have to go back through this movie now and change what Sonic looks like.
Yeah, go through an entire movie and re-edit an animated character.
Yeah. What is going on in this movie?
Yeah.
It looks
like a pile of garbage.
It looks okay, first of all, I don't care about Sonic really much at all.
No, me neither.
So I really I wouldn't have any faith in this movie whatsoever unless I hear it's just amazing. Yeah. Otherwise I'm gonna forget it even came out. But the choices that they decided to make in this baffle me.
Yeah. Mostly
the design of everybody. You know how bad the live action of any video game movie is? Mario?
Any video game movie.
Yeah, any video game movie is bad.
Yeah.
And then when you try to take an animated thing into live action, it never usually ends up very good either. Detective Pikachu is going to be maybe
probably the
best.
best.
Probably the best because they took huge liberties with the character, but still looked like they stayed true to the universe.
Yeah.
And so that looks okay. But the Sonic movie doesn't look like they stayed true to what Sonic, I guess, is. I don't know. That and he looks like a weird furry.
Yeah.
Looks like people still don't want to fuck.
Yeah. He looks like a person in a costume. They make him so
he's got
anatomically correct to a person. It just looks like someone in a big blue furry onesie.
Yeah.
I'm
this is weird.
What the fuck? What is this thing?
Yeah, what is this?
Yeah.
What is it? And then Jim Carrey is I don't know.
I wonder if he's gonna play this up as Andy Kaufman, or he's I'm Robotnik.
Oh God!
Go wait in your trailer, Jim.
Get out of here. Jim Carrey's really been rubbing me the wrong way lately. In the last 10 years.
Yeah.
I think Kick-Ass 2 broke him. Because that was the last thing I remember him being in that I was
and that's fine. That's when he raised that big stink about how he didn't want any guns in the movie at all.
Yeah, and was upset that it was super violent.
Yeah.
I'm did you read the script? And I don't know, maybe he did it and then he had a change of heart afterwards.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But I don't know, man. What is he was one of my idols as a kid.
Yeah.
And now I'm just he is fucking weird.
He just paints in his basement now. Just go paint.
That's fine,
just
man.
Go paint, man.
That one time he showed up on a red carpet and he's what does all this matter? Nothing matters. Why do you have to do this?
Why the fuck you here?
Why? I don't know, man. Maybe he was getting into the role for Robotnik. Nothing matters, so he's gonna kill Sonic or whatever it is.
Oh god! Somebody posted a thing on Twitter that made me laugh so much, and it was him looking really maniacal as Dr. Robotnik, and then the headline was, "And then I'll convince them all that vaccines are bad."
So anyway, that Sonic trailer, bad. Probably won't see it.
Yeah.
I'll just see what the redesign looks like. And
Poor
then,
James Marsden.
oh my god, poor James Marsden. What happened there?
Yeah. Yep. He just got put in the wrong place at the wrong time, I guess.
Several times, I think.
Several times.
Remember that movie Hop?
He's got a thing for CGI rodents, I guess.
I guess he does. I got 2 other trailers. Which one do you want to? I think we both have the same ones. If you only have 2,
man, I don't know. Both of them are pretty big.
Yeah. Why don't we do the HBO one first?
The HBO.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's the HBO Watchmen trailer.
Yeah,
Just
put
came
a
out.
teaser trailer.
Yeah, just came out today.
Just today.
I still don't know what to think about this,
Yeah.
and I haven't since like its inception.
Yeah.
Because I'm fairly certain it's a sequel to Watchmen.
It looks like it. Like, especially with like a bunch of people wearing Rorschach masks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, from what I gathered, I think it's going to be a sequel where like all of the writings of Rorschach have come out, and now like this cult of people are like
Yeah.
following like his writings, where it's like the world's a lie, and we can't let superheroes determine our livelihoods.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Because I think it looks like Jeremy Irons is playing like an older Ozymandias.
That's what I thought too. Which would be cool. But
Yeah.
so my big thing is, like, and I say this a lot for like anything where they take like an IP for like namesake only,
Yeah.
and they just use it to like piggyback an idea and kind of it doesn't need to be like a Watchmen thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, maybe it does, but
Yeah.
it just looks like he had like it doesn't have the feel, I guess, of what I was assuming it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks a lot like the Snyder film, which was pretty faithful to the source material, but I don't know. Just the vibe of it, I don't know. I'm not into it yet.
I don't know. I like The Leftovers that Damon Lindelof did before this. And like he's got some of the people from Leftovers back in this. Like Regina King is back.
Mm-hmm.
So I have faith in it. Like I liked how The Leftovers left off. Like Leftovers is definitely one of those shows where like you kind of have to be patient with it, because sometimes shit'll happen where you're like, where the fuck's this going?
Uh-huh.
And like I'll say that they don't tie all of the loose ends at the end, but I think it leaves you with enough of a proper ending where you're like, I mean, it was satisfying enough.
Okay.
So I want to see what he does with this, and I do want to see what he does with like this, taking like a different approach on like the superhero genre, maybe.
Okay.
Because I don't know. I read something where they said that it's pretty much going to be like a retelling of Watchmen, but set in modern times. But I don't see how they would do that if they're doing like this whole like Rorschach cult.
Yeah.
Because like if I was gonna take that, I would assume like the guy with the clear mask is Rorschach.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want like just another retelling of it.
Yeah,
Modern. That's
me
like
neither.
less interesting to me.
Yeah, me neither. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm for it though. Like there's a lot of things in there that's like really making me like, what the fuck? Like all of the cops wearing masks now.
Yeah.
Where it's like I thought like that would be kind of cool. Where it's like now they're at a point where crime fighting is so hated for people that now cops have to stay hidden like superheroes were hidden. Because that's why the whole superhero genre, like the whole superhero thing was created in Watchmen, was that like they were vigilantes fighting crime and people were fighting back, so they had to hide their identities.
Yeah.
Now it's gotten so bad to like now cops have to hide their identities.
That'd be all right. That's a fun idea. I don't know. I guess we'll see. I was for Imperious Rex, we're doing like Watchmen stuff sprinkled out throughout the year, and this is going to be one that we're going to be trying out.
All right.
So I guess I'll look at it.
All right.
I'm just not super stoked about it, but prove me wrong.
I want to check it out. A lot of the things that HBO has come out with this year, I've had a lot of praise for so far.
Okay. All right. The last trailer we have.
Yeah.
We
mentioned a little bit in the show already.
That's right.
Jeez, that was loud.
Oh, I apologize. The Spider-Man Far From Home had a trailer come out.
Yes.
And right off the bat, they have little Tom Holland in his British accent.
Yeah.
Saying, if you haven't seen Endgame yet...
It's going to spoil... You haven't seen Endgame, it's going to have some spoilers.
So, minor spoilers, I guess, if you haven't seen Endgame yet.
Yeah.
But
it's been almost 2 weeks.
Yeah, I do want to talk... And the Russo brothers have lifted the ban on spoilers.
Yeah, the Russos gave us the go-ahead.
The permission. So, this does take place after Endgame.
Yeah.
Which we kind of were speculating when it was going to be.
Yeah.
And right off the bat, they're like, oh, yeah, Iron Man's dead. And everyone's mourning. It's like, oh, geez, they came out hot with that spoiler news.
I know, he barely came off the screen. They're like, fuck, Iron Man's dead. It's like, you should have, yeah. You should have really turned it off before. Like the first thing they say.
Yeah. But,
they give you no chance to turn it off.
No.
So turn it off if you don't want spoilers. Oh, Iron Man's dead.
But we have everyone coming back. It looks like it feels like the same kind of feel from Homecoming.
Yeah.
Where like all the kids are just rambunctious and whatever. And I liked a lot of like those classmate interactions in Homecoming a lot.
Oh yeah.
And it looks like we're gonna get more in this. We have familiar faces coming back. We've got Colby Smulders coming back as Maria Hill and Sam Jackson as Nick Fury. We also have Happy Hogan coming back, it looks like.
This is going to be more of a centralized Spider-Man character now.
Yeah, which would be fun.
Yeah.
I really appreciate all of his entries in any of the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
I really like Happy Hogan a lot.
I know, he's just like a fun character, like ancillary character to just kind of what's going on?
And a silly character.
Yeah, he's an silly character.
Ancillary silly character.
Say that 5 times fast.
And then they are going on a class trip. Going on a trip. And then mayhem ensues where these big elemental creatures are tear-assing through London or wherever. Tearing ass through London. And not...
I think it's Venice.
Whatever. It's going through...
Some Europe thing. It's not America.
Foreign town.
It's not America. I don't give a shit.
Going through Venice.
Bunch of foreigners getting burned up by some big fire creature.
And Nick Fury shows up saying like, hey, Spider-Man, you gotta fight all these guys. Yeah. Here's my buddy Mysterio.
Yeah.
And then another big drop they did in this where he's like, he's from a multiple Earth.
Yeah.
Or a different dimension.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
They're like really throwing more folds into this whole thing.
But, kind of makes me wonder if that's going to be really true at all, because Mysterio is known for being a person known to trick people.
Yeah. A funny tweet I saw that this last weekend when the trailer came out, it's just like, Mysterio, known to be a bad guy. Far From Home trailer comes out. Everybody forgets. Like, somehow everyone thinks that now he's just going to be a good guy in this movie. No. Are you fucking kidding me?
His power even involves, like eerie green dust. Like, eerie green smoke that comes out of, like... Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't look like a good person at all.
No. His helmet is a big glass dome where you can't even see his eerie face.
Yeah.
Of Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Eerie. No, I don't know. But
I don't know. I was hearing like some theories where it's like what if he's like the first guy to kind of like he sees like how all these superheroes are being like praised, and he's like trying to jump on the bandwagon where he's like, maybe I can make myself seem like a superhero and get all this praise too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, hopefully they take as many liberties with like that character as they did with like the Vulture, because I felt like the Vulture was an amazing villain.
I know Marvel is like taking all of Spider-Man's villains and like turning them in a way where it's like, this is super interesting.
Yeah, super interesting.
Like I'd love to see them do like, I hope like for like the last Spider-Man movie they just say fuck it and just do like a Sinister Six.
Yeah.
Because
cool.
they're kind of already leading to it, because they already have like Scorpion in a form in some way, and they have like, they could bring back Vulture if they wanted to, and have them all led by like this maniacal looking Doc Ock or something, or like a Green Goblin of some sort.
Sure.
Like it'd be sweet.
Yeah. What I just thought of just now is that there's a series called Spider-Men, in where a Mysterio from an alternate dimension breaks through to the normal universe, but the dimension that Mysterio's from, Miles Morales, is the Spider-Man.
Oh.
So I wondered if they'd introduce Miles Morales.
Maybe.
He was a big hit in Spider-Verse.
He was.
Why not have a live-action version?
And we know Disney has no shame when it comes to capitalizing on things that make money.
That's true.
A la all of their live-action Disney movies.
Yeah. So yeah, I wonder if they would do that. That just came to me just now. Huh. That'd be wild. That'd be a big surprise too if they hold it.
Wild stuff.
Wild stuff.
Wild stuff.
But yeah, everyone check out the Far From Home trailer. It's quite breathtaking.
Sterling review. The Spider-Man Far From Home trailer.
Yeah.
But Troy, we're going to talk about Turn Around Movies 5.
That's right.
But let's talk about Turn Around Movies 6 going on right now.
Currently.
It's getting pretty crazy, Troy.
It's getting crazy.
There's some
crazy shit happening out there.
Some weird entries in this one.
Yeah.
We already have King Kong, Monsters Inc., Alita Battle Angel, and a Goofy movie.
Mm-hmm.
And you seem really thrilled about all those choices.
Some of them might be better than others.
Yeah. But our one from this last week was Young Adult versus Warm Bodies. Now, you seemed like you were pretty interested in both of these.
Uh-huh.
And we only had like 9 votes for it. A little less than we had before.
Let's turn out on that one.
Yeah. There was like almost 30 for a Goofy movie. Like, Jesus Christ. I didn't know. I didn't know you guys fucking like Powerline so much. But Warm Bodies took it.
Yeah. I didn't vote for Warm Bodies.
Yeah?
This is like the third vote in a row that my pick did not win, so I'm getting pretty butthurt about
Everyone is just saying fuck Troy. So Warm Bodies moving on alongside a Goofy movie, King Kong, Monsters Inc., and Alita Battle Angel. But got 2 more.
Okay.
Maybe one of these will win in the long run, and you'll be like, oh, it was all worth it.
Hopefully it trips my trigger.
And it's fitting because since we're talking about probably one of the most depressing Turn Random Movies winners ever, that these two are also pretty somber.
Cool.
We got a film from 2011 that deals with containing an outbreak.
Okay.
And we have a film from 1990 that is a Stephen King classic.
Oh, my.
The movie from 2011. I can't keep forgetting to write down the taglines, but I'm going to get it. Don't worry.
All right. 2011.
The film from 2011 involves
an outbreak.
An outbreak. And let's see here.
An outbreak.
It is directed by Steven Soderbergh.
Okay.
Which I think like he's slowly becoming one of my like low-key favorite directors. There's a lot of shit that he makes where I'm like, I fucking love it. But the tagline is It's probably not going to help that much. The World Goes Viral, September 9th.
No. 2011. I don't know. Contagion.
It's Contagion.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh my. Cool.
It is Contagion. That's right. So you got it, Troy.
Sweet.
So I actually remember seeing this movie, and I actually really liked it a lot.
I've never seen it.
It's really interesting.
Okay.
Like, it's a bunch of different stories, and they kind of show, like, the life of, like, a terrible, like, disease that just spreads throughout, where it's like, what happens when it reaches these certain stages? What even happens when, like, a cure's found, even?
Oh boy.
Like, and it's, like, spreading to a point where it's just killing people at a random pace, and it's like, well, we found a cure, but, like, we can only make so much of it at a certain time, where it's like, it's pretty interesting. I really dug it.
Okay.
So, Contagion added to the bracket, and it's going to go against a 1990 movie based off a Stephen King classic. And I'm pulling it up here. The tagline is, God damn it, it just has the fucking name in it.
Is it The Shining?
No.
Okay.
It's about, let's see if you can get it just based on my weird synopsis of it. It's about a super fan.
Okay. Oh, Misery?
Misery.
Okay, great.
1990 Misery with James Caan and Kathy Bates.
James Caan.
James Caan.
Wild stuff.
Wild stuff. So there you go. Contagion versus
true.
Contagion versus Misery.
Okay.
Which one are you leaning towards on this one, Troy? This one might be a good. Do you think this is a good one?
I do.
Good.
I think this is the best one yet.
Good. Good.
I think I'm leaning towards Misery. I've never seen Misery.
Yeah.
And I know it's referenced often.
Mm-hmm.
At least for the one, like, hobbling scene.
The fucking
The
hobbling.
So I kind of want to see that.
You just want to see James Caan,
Get hobbled.
Caan's leg get destroyed?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I think I'm going to lean towards Misery, I think. So everyone vote for
Okay.
that. Don't fuck me on this one.
Please don't fuck me.
Yeah, please don't fuck me. Even though if Contagion did win, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. I'd just be butthurt about it because I voted for Misery again. But
Well, there you go. Contagion versus Misery. We'll see who moves on next week.
got it.
But that's next
Solid.
week. This week, we're talking about the winner
That's right.
of Terminator Movies 5,
That's right.
Platoon.
Platoon! Platoon came out, JT, December 24th, 1986.
Christmas Eve!
That's right, a Christmas
Can't
Eve.
think of a better way to spend my Christmas Eve.
Yeah. With a budget of $6 million.
Whoa.
I know. Domestically, it made $138.5 million. But that's it. And it wasn't released worldwide.
Okay. Well,
Minorly.
Still, for $6 million compared to 135, I would say that's success.
That's a success.
Success.
I couldn't find... It's weird because it said that these movies had difficulties playing around the world. Or this movie did. But I couldn't find a worldwide box office anywhere. So that threw me off. Regardless.
They just took the money that they made and threw it in the river.
Yeah.
Fuck America.
Rotten Tomatoes has it at 88%, IMDb 8.1 out of 10, and Metacritic at a 92%.
Ooh, pretty high regards.
High marks for Platoon.
High regards.
This movie was actually banned in Vietnam.
I wonder why.
Yeah. And it also wasn't able to be shown in Malaysia because of the violence.
Okay.
But I want to actually get into the violence in this
Okay.
when we start our discussion about it.
Yeah.
Let me write it down because I forgot to before. Violence? Question mark? There we go. This also was the number 3 movie in 1986, JT.
Yeah.
Did pretty well
We
for
talked
itself.
a lot of 1986 movies so far.
Could you remember what some of the top ones are? Maybe the top 5?
Top Gun is number 1.
You got it.
Crocodile Dundee
is number two.
two.
You got it.
Oh God, I can't think of 4 and 5.
I don't think you would get them. They're sequels. Number 4 is Karate Kid 2. And then 5 is Star Trek 4. Yeah.
Yes.
Those are the top 5 movies in 1986.
I know we talked about the number 1 and number 2 because I think I brought it up when we were doing our 80s month.
Yes. This movie did gangbusters at the Oscars.
Oh, I'm sure.
It was nominated for 8 and won 4 of them. It was nominated for Best Supporting Actor, and that was for Willem Dafoe and Tom Berenger.
Yeah.
It was nominated for Best Original Screenplay.
Yeah.
It was nominated for Best Cinematography.
Yeah.
It won Best Sound Editing.
Okay.
Best Editing.
Okay.
Best Director for Oliver Stone.
Okay.
And it also won Best Picture.
Okay.
So, pretty good.
Did good.
Did good.
Did good, they say.
Did good, for sure. So, JT, what happened in Platoon?
Well, we follow a young man by the name of Chris,
Yes.
who's going to Vietnam on a voluntary basis. Even though he was in college, he dropped out and said, you know what, I'm going to go help the world. I'm going to go volunteer to be on the front line in Vietnam.
Yep.
And as he goes on, he finds out that maybe there's not a lot of good to be had in Vietnam.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much the movie.
Yeah.
I was actually shocked to see that not a whole lot happens in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, for plot-wise, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, you get to see a progression of a character, but otherwise, there's not a whole lot going on. It's kind of just, like, showing how horrible war is, more or less, than the effects on people.
Also showing how horrible Vietnam is in general.
Yeah.
They really make, like, the environment of Vietnam seem like shit.
Yeah. We joked about getting GHD Senior on the show
Kenny
for
Hunter
this.
Dave.
Kenny Hunter Dave. I talked to Dave yesterday to see if I can get a soundbite from Kenny himself.
Yeah.
I don't think he wanted to, so...
Fair enough.
Yeah. I didn't get
okay.
one, which is totally fine, unless one just shows up in my Dropbox tomorrow, which will be unfortunate.
Yeah.
But
we'll play it on the next show if we do.
yeah. But,
He said this is his favorite movie, though, right?
I think... it's one of his favorites, I think.
Okay.
But I don't see why. I had a hard time kind of watching this movie. There were some parts that were very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
One part in general for me.
Oh, yeah. I can almost probably tell you what it is, but...
I mean, what the movie does great is be a war movie that doesn't it doesn't have any grandeur about it.
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't make anyone look real good. It's just how shitty war is and what it does to people. And like, just the shitty people that are there just makes it look shitty. There's a reason why they say they're in the shit.
Yeah.
And this is it.
Yeah, everything
Right
is shit in this.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying the movie is bad. It's just like, it's not like Saving Private Ryan where it's like a realistic take and then it's like a heroic moments at the end.
Yeah.
It's nothing like that at all.
No one's really heroic in this at all.
No.
There's one person that probably could be heroic, and they just, like, murder him.
Yeah.
He just gets blatantly murdered.
Yeah.
Like, the one guy that kind of stands up and is like, hey, guys, let's just try and be, like, good soldiers. He just gets murdered in the jungle.
So the cover of this like ruins like a part of the movie.
Yeah, and it's like a part that's like almost at the halfway point even.
Yeah. And that being said, it's like one of the most popular film images of all time.
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe like arms up in the air.
Yeah.
Getting blasted. But I don't know. Why don't you go on? I feel like I keep cutting you off about stuff.
The thing about Platoon is like I think there's a lot of good characters in it, and I think there's a lot of strong scenes, like effective scenes in it. But all in all, I don't know if I like this movie that much. I feel like a lot of it is, pardon the pun, overkill.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Even down to like Charlie Sheen's weird narration throughout.
I hated that.
I fucking hated it. And they try and like dress it up as like it's his letters to his grandma, but no. You just think you're so fucking deep and you're having all him. No one writes a letter to their grandma being like, there's two worst places in the world, hell and Vietnam. And you're like, you don't write that letter to your fucking grandma. You're just trying to be pompous and dressing it up as he's writing letters to his grandma.
Yeah. I mean, are they trying to do like Apocalypse Now? Because like
I like Apocalypse Now more than this.
I've only seen parts of Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, like I think I like Apocalypse Now more than this because Apocalypse Now kind of feels like a weird telling of the Odyssey, but through the eyes of someone that's in Vietnam, where it's someone that's traveling through Vietnam to accomplish a mission, and on his way there, he comes across different aspects of the Vietnam War as he's going there. I like that, but with this, I feel like they try to do the same thing, but with like one particular platoon where you're like, I feel like you're forcing a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of parts in here where I was like I don't think Charlie Sheen's really that good in this.
I don't either.
Like he has like two modes. He has like film noir.
Look at my note.
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen?
Like,
Question mark?
He has like two modes in this movie, like film noir, like war is hell, man, and then he has going crazy, like fucker, motherfucker, like chasing someone,
Yeah,
yelling fuck every. There's one scene in particular where it takes place during the scene I'm pretty sure you're talking about, where it made you uncomfortable, where they're in the village, and he just like a scene pops up where it's supposed to be him just going nuts, like being overwhelmed, but it turns almost into a comedy scene where he comes across this dude with one leg and he's so frustrated that he starts shooting around him and says, "Dance, one-legged fucker!"
Yeah.
I was like, it's so... He just keeps repeating one-legged fucker so many times that I started laughing, but then I'm like, why am I laughing? This is terrible.
And that fucking guy who's in Entourage, what's his fucking real name?
Matt Dillon's in it.
Yeah, Matt Dillon. He was like just evil for the sake of being cruel.
Yeah.
Like, because he was the guy who's like dance fucker, right? Was that him?
He's the guy that walks in. No, Charlie Sheen was the dance fucker guy. Because Charlie Sheen found the one-legged guy, and he was like, "Oh, I can't stand you fuckers!" And then he just starts like,
oh yeah,
just shooting around him like, "Dance, one-legged fucker." Where you're like,
yeah, okay,
what the fuck? Like,
oh yeah, you're right.
I almost started laughing because it was like, this is ridiculous. And then the guy just wouldn't stop smiling. Where I'm like, oh, no,
yeah, because he was like,
he was like
mentally
kind of
handicapped.
Yeah, like it's like the fuck is happening? Like that whole village scene, I agree, is really uncomfortable, but I feel like it's one of the most effective scenes where you can see how these strenuous like things that are taking place can fuck with someone's head. Where like, because when they get there, they just went through a scenario where they lost like three of their guys.
Yeah.
And they just came across one of them that was like almost crucified on a stump.
Yeah.
Where they're in like fuck these guys mode.
Yeah.
And they come across a village that's already pretty shady because one of the guys that killed one of their dudes was running away, and they popped him off, where it's like, why is he so close to this village? And then when they get there, they find a shit ton of ammo and guns, where it's like, something's fishy. But then instead of like investigating, they're just like, these fuckers did something.
Yeah.
These guys know something, and they just start going nuts, where it's like, as much as I want to be like, these guys are assholes, it's like, you know, if I was in that situation with that frame of mind, I don't know what I would have done differently. Which is like, it's depressing to think about.
Yeah.
Like, you're in a situation where you don't know who's your enemy, and you're in this village where it's like, this old lady's crying, but if I turn my back to her, she could probably like pull a gun out of somewhere and shoot me in the back of the head.
Yeah. Man.
Like that whole village scene is fucked because even like how that's presented where like they bring the translator in to kind of translate what they're saying. And like even he's really nonchalant about what they're saying to him where it's like, yeah, this bitch is saying something like you killed her pig and now won't eat the rest of the month. I don't know. Where it's like, that's a big thing. And they like show her and she's like crying, like she's like crying, like trying to like claw them, like almost hysterical. And he's like translating for her like it's like some nonchalant thing where it's like, I like how they portray it where they don't translate what any of the villagers are saying. So it almost kind of leaves that disconnect with you where the only real person that's kind of allowing you into what they're saying is so nonchalant about it where you still really don't get the grasp of how they feel about these soldiers invading their village.
Yeah. It was hard for me to get behind anybody. Like even when you're supposed to be thinking like, okay, so it's supposed to be like Charlie Sheen. I'm coming in here fresh faced.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be changed by the aspects of what's happening in this war. That in hindsight probably shouldn't have been in.
Vietnam is probably the worst thing we've ever done.
Yeah. And then you get in there and then you see him kind of do shitty things too. Yeah. I don't think, to me, like, it was just like a weird jump in logic on why he was being so shitty. And then he like turns like minutes later.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he just saw the error of his ways. But like it's still
I think it kind of turns when like Willem Dafoe jumps in.
Yeah.
Where he's like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's just like the one person you could get behind still is like Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do anything that's like out of he doesn't do anything like strangely cruel out of character that I can think of off the top of my head right now. But he does like get like tries to retaliate against like real pieces of shit in his own platoon.
Yeah. Like this platoon seems really weird because they do have like a guy that's in charge, but he's such a spineless dickhead. He lets everyone walk around him.
Yeah.
Because I don't even think Tom Berenger's like the main guy. It's that other guy. Because the other guy was like, hey man, could you kind of like back off and kind of let me call orders once in a while? I was like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, and then Tom Berenger still keeps barking out orders and stuff, which I think out of everyone, I think Tom Berenger gives like the best performance in this.
I would say so.
I think I liked him the most out of everybody. Because he never comes off as a good person in this, but there are scenes where like he talks where it's like, oh god, I fucking hate him, but I mean he kind of makes sense. Like
more so for me in the beginning, like he comes off as like a dick, but you feel like his actions are warranted or his beliefs are warranted.
Yeah.
But then he does some like cruel things like during the village scene, like just fucking kills a person point blank.
Yeah.
Where I'm just
but then you see they kind of have like a scene that kind of mirrors what happens in Saving Private Ryan, where like Charlie Sheen almost kind of walks in on him crying.
Yeah.
When he's like sitting at that campfire, and like he kind of walks in on him crying, where it's like you've seen this guy that's like this big hard ass. He's got a fucking scar on his face, and you're like oh man, this guy's a hard ass. And then like Charlie Sheen almost like walks in on him like almost kind of crying, where it's like, well, shit, like he kind of needs his time to kind of process stuff. But then it's like, you imagine like what if they came across that village if they didn't just see like the terrible shit they just saw? Like, would he have acted the same way? Where it's like maybe he just doesn't react to these things in like a good way.
Mm.
Where like I think like this movie's so hard to like gauge who's right because I feel like everyone's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
like there's that whole scene when like Tom Berenger kills Willem Dafoe, or like shoots him, and then Willem Dafoe dies because a bunch of fucking soldiers kill him.
Yeah.
But then they have that whole scene where Charlie Sheen is like in that bunker with like all of his friends, and he's like, man, fuck that guy, we gotta kill him. Like, he fucking killed Elias, like, fuck that guy. And then he shows up and he's like, he like almost kind of like spouts like some truth where he's like, look, I'm sure what I'm doing might be shitty, but he was moving in and was splitting up the entire platoon. So instead of working as a unit, we were working in 2 different units. So it's like, it doesn't matter if you think I'm right or wrong, but we have to work for one solid purpose. Because if we split up, then we have more of a right to be dead than if we worked together as a group.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, you see what Willem Dafoe did in that scene beforehand, where it's like, what he did was right, but it was like, they were still working on 2 different tangents where it's like, they could have easily gotten mowed over.
Yeah.
Where like, you don't need a right and wrong, you need one solid idea, and then everyone needs to follow that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he was kind of saying, why Willem Dafoe was like a problem, was because he was getting people, a certain group of people behind him, but not everybody.
Yeah. But like it, you could also argue that he's also kind of doing that, because it's like, since he's pretty much calling the shots,
Yeah.
he can dictate who's right and who's wrong.
Yeah.
And so, in my eyes, he was more wrong than Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
But he had such a loyal following because he did go gung-ho through some of this and get people out of there alive.
Yeah.
That they're like, yeah, we'll be behind you even though you're kind of a prick.
Yeah.
And then we'll also be pricks with you. And Willem
Yeah.
Dafoe's like, I don't think we should really do this. But the guy that is actually in charge is such a pushover.
Oh, God, yeah.
That, like, he can't get through to him. So, like, really, I don't know who's splitting up, really. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, I know. Like, Tom Berenger's so good in this because it's like, you can't tell if he's speaking, if like he's speaking truth or if he's just manipulating everybody so that he can continue to do what he wants to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes him like such an effective character in this.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen a ton of stuff with Tom Berenger in before, but I was reading up on some of the stuff, and a lot of the stuff he was in previous to this is kind of juxtaposes Willem Dafoe, because usually Berenger plays like a hero,
Yeah.
and Dafoe plays the villain,
Yeah.
and in this they're flip-flopped.
Yeah, like I think that was like a thing Oliver Stone wanted to do, was that he wanted to flip-flop them so that it's unexpected.
Yeah.
That you'd expect Willem Dafoe to be the guy that's like the dickhead.
And then they both got nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
Yeah.
So, pretty
Yeah.
good. Not like the Oscars mean a whole lot, but like, usually when it's like a Best Actor or whoever, supporting actor, it's pretty on point.
Yeah. But I don't know, like stuff like that, like characters like that, I think is why this movie is what it is, where it's ranked as high as it is. But there's so many things in this movie that's so heavy-handed.
Yeah.
Like, there's that scene in the beginning when they're like getting high in that bunker, and it's like they play the song like, my smile seems out of place, you can't see the tracks of my tears, where it's like, I get it. I fucking get it. Yeah. They're being happy, but they're depressed inside. Like, there's so many things where I feel like Oliver Stone is like, I'm so smart here. Where you're like, yeah. No. Like, I don't...
Yeah, but I mean, in 1986, would that have been like severely overdone by then? I think we're jaded to it now.
Maybe.
Because
but...
it's like a shorthand that's used a lot, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But
I don't know.
But I feel like in the 70s, like a lot of films were made where they didn't come right out and tell you things. Like,
Yeah.
I think Oliver Stone put things in here where he was like, I'm hiding it, where it's like, no, you're not. This is really blatant.
Yeah.
He's like, oh my God, I'm going to play this song at this point, and people are going to be like, oh my God, it's giving me this feeling. No, it's the lyrics or like, or what's telling you what's happening. It's really blatant. Like, that's why I feel like all of Charlie Sheen's narration, it feels like it's dressed up as like these letters to his grandma, but it's like trying to tell you how you should feel in these scenes, where it's like, well, then it's lazy. Like, I think this would have been way more effective if Charlie Sheen wasn't having these like weird narration cuts throughout.
Yeah. And his voice isn't made for narration.
No, it's not.
It's just I could never get behind it. I didn't mind him maybe as like the main character, but anytime
Yeah.
there was that narration, I'm like, this doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
And then also like I didn't think he was like the best actor in this either, or best actor,
Yeah.
in this.
Yeah, no, I don't think Charlie Sheen was good at all in this. I think he kind of sucked. But I don't know, like there still are some parts in this where they do defy expectations. Like you even brought up like the Matt Dillon character being like this big piece of shit.
Yeah.
But then like how he dies is by like one of the guys that you kind of get behind throughout the whole movie chickens out and then like gets both of them killed in that foxhole. Like they do stuff like that where like you do kind of fancy other characters over others, but then when the chips are really down, then you see who's really willing to step up. And even if that person's a piece of shit, they're still willing to step up and do their part. And then the guys that you do end up liking could definitely chicken out and run away from their responsibilities.
Yeah.
Like that was like a cool aspect of the movie that I didn't really see coming at the end, which I like that. But yeah, everything leading up to that felt really heavy-handed.
Yeah. Oh, man. What we were messaging back and forth, you messaged me the day you watched it, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, Platoon is dour as fuck.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen it yet. I watched it the day after, and I'm just like, great. Can't wait to watch this. And you weren't wrong.
No.
I just, I don't know. Like, I even saw, like, the running time on it. I'm like, 2 hours?
Yeah.
My goodness.
And like I said, like, this movie's overkill. Like, I feel like they could have shaved a little bit off of every scene and made it an hour and a half. Because I think they linger on some scenes, on, like, almost every scene a little too long. Where it was like there was a lot of times where I saw myself being like, I get it.
Yeah, I was like that,
Like,
too.
even that village scene where I was like, I get it. This is bad.
But, I mean, maybe that was the point of, like, just having to sit in that moment and just, like, really hate it.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, that village scene is the only one that held my attention.
Yeah.
And then otherwise, like, leading up to it, I'm just like, okay, I see what they're doing here. And then it was like that scene is like also like a big turning point too.
Yeah.
And then when there's like
that's the big scene that kind of splits up the platoon from there, where there's people with Elias and there's people with Berg, I think was John Berenger's character.
I don't remember.
And then they have like this the main guy that's just like no one gives a shit about him.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, after that there was like the shootout in the jungle. That was kind of tense.
Yeah.
Where they meet up with the where they meet up with Charlie. There's Charlie everywhere, man. And then that was interesting, but then after that I'm like I was kind of like losing steam with it.
Yeah. Like the initial mission that they have when like Charlie Sheen first gets there, where they're like going out at night and they have to like stay up. Like that one, I don't know. I thought that one had like a different aspect to it that I kind of appreciated, where it was like you felt like, oh man, I would not be able to do this.
Yeah.
Like you're just like, yeah, you got to stay up, and then like even when you're not up, like you have to like be. Even when you don't have to be up, like you gotta kind of be up, because like guys can just come in whenever,
Yeah,
and you're fucked.
Yeah.
Like that scene where like Charlie Sheen is just like kind of like nudges awake, and he like sees there's like guys like almost like up to his face, where it's like holy shit, like,
yeah.
and they're just like walking by him like not seeing him, where you're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
fuck Vietnam.
Yeah, fuck Vietnam, man.
I would not survive a day.
I really don't know a whole lot about Vietnam. Like I know it was bad.
Yeah.
But like I am going to come out and say like I don't know a whole lot about it. And I've always wanted to like learn more about it, But then I like will watch movies and stuff like this about. I'm like, I don't want to be sad.
Well, Vietnam was such a shit show because it was pretty much us like overreacting to the Red Scare, pretty much. Where it was like, oh, the Vietnamese are being taken over by like the Viet Cong, which is like a communist group, and we were like, communist? We should send people to help. Where you're like, but it's not really our fight, and like this country's so fucking fucked, we would not be able to navigate it that well. Where it's like, but communist, we gotta fight communists. All right.
What a time to not be alive.
Yeah. But, and then it just kind of turned to a thing where like every president was so scared to be the one that fucked up in Vietnam that they just kept soldiers there.
Oy.
Like that's why we're there for so long, because every president that came in was like, we gotta get out of Vietnam. And they're like, but if you get out of Vietnam, then you're known as the president that got out of Vietnam. Like you're the president, you're known as the president that fucked up in Vietnam. This thing's been happening for almost 10 years. And it's like, well then fuck, I don't want to be that president.
Jesus
it's like,
Christ.
Yeah. Like it almost turned like a political thing. And it's just, nothing is good about Vietnam. Not a single fucking thing was good about Vietnam.
Golly. Anyway, do you have any... I think I've got... Oh, I wanted to bring up the violence in this.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, and I'm assuming you as well, are, like, kind of accustomed to seeing, like, pretty gory violence and stuff like that. And this being, like, a war movie, I expected some, and there wasn't really.
There's some pretty gruesome shit in here, though. Like, there's that guy that goes out of that bunker with no arms.
Yeah, there was that, but then it wasn't... I expected the movie to be, like, I guess, more gratuitous in that kind of violence. And there was that. But anytime there was, like, an explosion, it would, like, do a quick cut to the outside of it. Where you never saw, like, an exploding body.
No.
And anybody that was shot never had, like, limbs blow off or anything like that.
And I think that's what kind of... I think that didn't really become a thing until, like, Saving Private Ryan.
Really?
Yeah. Because I don't really remember any movies that really did that until Saving Private Ryan. But
they were pretty late for that.
I don't know. Because I think Saving Private Ryan is like the first movie that I remember seeing where I was like, holy shit. Like, people are disintegrating in front of your very eyes.
Yeah, well, I guess in like realistic type of brutality and stuff like that. Okay.
But I think this movie's effective in like just the situations that people are put in. Like, there's that part where, like, at the very end when they show like those Viet Cong guys get by dressed as American soldiers, and like, hey, who are you guys? And then a dude just unloads a machine gun as another guy runs into a bunker full of officers and just blows himself up. We were like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like,
just
that's a fucked situation.
A suicide runner.
Yeah. Like, oh my God. Like, I never want to be a part of war. Like, I'm almost done doing war movies on this show, because every time we do war movies, I just reflect on how fucked it is.
Yeah.
And then think about, like, how I would be in that situation, and would be like, I would freeze and die.
Yeah. Freeze
in the sense that I would just sit where I am and wait for someone to kill me, because I have no idea what I would do. Like, war is such a fucking fucked up thing that man's created.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
Yeah.
So much.
Yes. Same. I'm right there with you.
I hate it.
Speaking on the same subject, so I'm trying to lighten the mood a little bit here. I just got a letter in the mail from Verizon.
Okay.
Saying that my insurance premiums are going to go up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not $2 a month. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
But I was reading the pamphlet, because the pamphlet was thick of what the insurance does not cover.
Yeah.
And if your phone is destroyed from an act of war, insurance does not cover.
What?
I think I have it in the garbage over here. But they have, like, your insurance does not cover if your phone is destroyed through nuclear fallout, through war, through, like, a disease epidemic. Like, way fucked up things I never thought would be in a pamphlet for a cell phone.
Yeah, why would they even, like, involve... Because, like, I think your cell phone would be the last thing on your mind if that shit's going down.
Yeah. Well, unless you need to call to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like, you end up surviving all of that, and you're like, man, that was fucked up, right, Verizon? Well, I need a new phone. Did you read the fine print?
I was just...
You cheap motherfuckers! I'm the only person alive in the world, and you won't cover my goddamn phone.
Yeah. I should dig it out of the garbage and take some pictures of it, because it is ridiculous. It's so stupid. But so anyway, do you want to just wrap up your thoughts on Platoon then?
Sure. Like, I'm so, like, on the fence about it, because I feel like there's so many things they do in this that, like, so heavy-handed that I'm like, ugh, I don't even know if I even like this movie. But there are characters that I like, and there's scenes that I like the village scene, even though it's hard to watch, I think it's effective for what it is.
Yeah.
And, like, the whole Tom Berenger scene where he's, like, pretty much confessing and telling people why he killed Willem Dafoe. I thought it was done in a way where, like, you start out hating him, and then when he gets through why he did what he did, you're like, I mean, I still don't agree with it, but I can see where he's coming from.
Yeah.
Where, like, that's why I think Tom Berenger's, like, the best character in this whole thing. And even, like, that scene where they have, like, Willem Dafoe talking to Charlie Sheen where he's like, man, fuck this war. Where it's like, do you really want that guy, like, leading a platoon where he's like, he already hates this war? Like, don't you want someone that's kind of gung-ho about it?
Yeah.
And even though Tom Berenger's, like, a fucking asshole, like, he's more gung-ho about it than Willem Dafoe is. Like, if you want to save lives, yes, Willem Dafoe needs to be in charge of your platoon. But if you want to win it, you kind of need Tom Berenger also. Which, I think that's kind of one of the things I like about this movie, is that it asks that tough question where it's like, Tom Berenger's a fuckhead, but if there were no Tom Berengers in Vietnam, we wouldn't have come close.
Yeah.
But we still didn't win, but you need people like Tom Berenger if you're going to win a war, which is sad.
Yes.
Go ahead.
No, go, you were finishing up.
Oh, yeah, so I'm just going to say, like, I think, like, it's too heavy-handed for me to give it, like a B, but there's so many things that I like in it, so I'm going to give it, like, a C+.
Okay. I agree with, like, a majority of what you said. There were scenes that I thought were effective, but then just overall, like, I just couldn't really get into this, and it's something I wouldn't ever watch again, I don't think.
Yeah.
Unless it's, like, a history, like a film history class or something, and you got to, like, get more insight on stuff. I think I'd find that interesting.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Like, I would probably be a C.
Okay.
For the movie. I don't see how it could be Kenny Hunter Dave's favorite movie.
I don't think it flows together as a good movie in general. Like, I usually, if it's a C, it's a movie that I wouldn't suggest people watching, but, like, find clips of things that I liked on YouTube. And I think this is, like, the prime example of that, where it's like, if you want, like, a scene to kind of encompass things that I like of it, like, if you want to, check out that village scene and check out, like, the Tom Berenger explaining why he killed Willem Dafoe scene. But beyond that, like, so much of this I couldn't get into.
Yeah, same here. All right, good.
But I did like, what's his name? The guy with the green tooth.
Oh, Keith David?
Keith David fucking kicks ass in this movie.
Dude, this movie was a stacked cast, too.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
John C. McGinley's in this. Johnny Depp is in this.
Yes. Freaking Forrest Whitaker's in this. Let me just pull up IMDb and just read you the top few people, because it's pretty crazy. I mean, Charlie Sheen, Tom Berenger, Willem Dafoe, Keith David, Forrest Whitaker, Francisco Quinn, you'd know him if you saw him, Kevin Dillon, John C. McGinley, Johnny Depp, That might be.
That's kind of the
There-
main ones. But
I
Keith
thought there
David,
was more.
I fucking love Keith David in this because like Keith David's like that guy that like Charlie Sheen,
Tony Todd.
yeah, Tony Todd. But like Keith David's like that guy that like Charlie Sheen will like kind of like open up to, and then Keith David's like, you stupid motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like I love that scene when like he's asked like why Charlie Sheen's here, and he's like, hey man, I just want to make a difference, and like he's like, aren't your parents rich? Like, yeah, they're rich, but I just came here to make a difference. And he's like, man, that sounds like this is like a stupid thing a rich person would do. But like he points it out where it's like, yeah, like this is like the shit rich people make poor people do is this war.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, man, you're so stupid. Like, but I love that scene. Like Keith David's so fucking good. Where it's like when he gets on that chopper before the final battle, I'm like, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, get
Get the
there.
fuck out of there. And even he's like, see you motherfuckers. He's just like flying off like, oh, thank God that guy made it.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, Keith David I think is like one of like him and Tom Berenger are probably my two favorite guys in this movie.
I see. I could get behind that. Well, is there anything else that you were into besides Platoon this last week, JT?
Well,
a
I
few
watched
extra days to ingest some stuff.
No shit. I watched that movie where like Nicole Kidman uglied herself up called Destroyer,
Uh-huh.
and it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even know really much to say about it. I mean, it's interesting where you can kind of follow this whole thing of like this crooked cop who's trying to like tie up loose ends of like a bad thing she did like a long time ago. And like, man, Nicole Kidman like weathers herself. Like she's like just a shitty person in this. Like shitty like inside and out. But so like if you want to see Nicole Kidman in a completely different light, I would say check out Destroyer. And I saw the movie with Zac Efron playing Ted Bundy
Okay.
called God damn it, it's like a really long ass
The
title.
Netflix one.
The Netflix one.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even know that was gonna be a Netflix movie. I know you brought it up a long time ago.
I didn't know it was either because somebody else at work brought it up that they saw it, and I'm like, "That's out?"
Yeah.
She's like, "Yeah, it's on Netflix." And I was like, "Already?" She's like, "No, it is a Netflix movie." I'm like, oh, I guess I didn't know that. I thought it was gonna be like a full theatrical release.
Yeah, but so I watched that, and I would say if you already saw like they have like a long like documentary series on Ted Bundy on there, I would say if you saw that, you probably don't need to see this because this movie is pretty much like a cliff notes of that documentary.
And it doesn't it. It's not from his perspective. It's from like his wife's perspective.
Yeah, well, his ex-fiance's perspective,
Whatever.
where like like they were engaged to be married, and then like he started getting arrested for a bunch of shit, and she was like, "So why are they saying you killed all these people? Oh, it's a conspiracy. It wasn't me."
Yeah.
She was
Wasn't
like,
me.
Yeah, caught her banging the bathroom counter or whatever. but yeah, no, I think. If you are gonna check it out, I would say check it out for Zac Efron's performance because he is like scarily looks like Ted Bundy in this. Like he looks really like so much like Ted Bundy until he takes his shirt off, where it's like, man, you were jacked as fuck. You are not Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy definitely had like a 70s dad bod.
Yeah, he did. And like, yeah, Zac Efron is like jacked to the fucking gills, but like, no, there's like some cool scenes in there, but I would say it's not really worth checking out if you saw that Ted Bundy documentary series, because it's like, this is pretty much just the cliff notes of it, where it's like they just reference all the bad shit he's done, and then they even like dramatize like his escapes and everything. So it's like, I mean, if you saw the documentary series, don't bother unless you want to see Zac Efron's performance.
Okay.
And me and Molly started watching. HBO has come out with a show called Chernobyl, where it's supposed to chronicle like the 1986 like explosion of a nuclear power plant and how it fucked up everyone in Chernobyl. And like I just watched the first episode, and it's already like getting pretty fucked.
Cool.
And Molly's super into that shit. Like, she watched like a documentary on Netflix about like how radiation affects the human body and like things that happen in Chernobyl in general. And the things that she said to me, if they cover that in this show, holy fuck. It's gonna be gross. Like, she's like said shit where it's like the core, what used to be like the nuclear core in Chernobyl, is still like radioactive to the point where it won't be safe to live near there for like 1 billion years.
Yeah, you should follow a certain Twitter account. I think it's like Chernobyl. Let me find what it is. Oh, fuck. Go on. I'll find it.
But like it's so funny because the series starts with the main character hanging himself.
Oh my!
And then they go 2 years in the past. It's like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, I think it's gonna be good because like they really hammer home the idea of like it also being like a communist state where it's like the combination of it's a man-made thing that fucked up, and the Soviet Union was so paranoid about looking bad that they would not admit that it was a mistake, and they just let so many fucking people die by not informing people that this was like a serious thing. Like, it is so fucked. Like, there's literally like a scene in the first episode where like ash is falling from the sky and kids are playing in it.
Oh my god.
And it's like all those people are dead. They're like playing in nuclear fallout right now.
Oh my god. Yeah, the Twitter account's called @ChernobylStatus, and it'll just tell you how % safe Chernobyl is.
Yeah.
And so, like, as of 2 hours ago, Chernobyl is currently 1.10118950048% safe,
God.
which is not safe. And then I think it said, like, in their title, like, it'll take Chernobyl 3,000 years to be safe again. Follow to get updated on its progress. But so yeah.
Yeah, no, it's I think it's only going to be like it's a 5-part miniseries, so I think it's only going to be 5 episodes.
Okay.
So I'm curious to see where they go with it, but man, it is so fucked. Like you watch that first episode and you're just like, you're all going to be dead. Like, cuz it's like all these guys in this don't even have an idea of how fucked this whole thing is. Like, they're sending people to the core being like, hey, go check out the core and see how bad it is. And they're like, okay. And they come back and their face is all red, where it's like, you're probably swimming in cancer.
God.
Like, ugh. I can't even imagine. Like, that's just some fucked up shit.
Chernobyl. That'd be like the worst fucking thing to ever happen. Because it's still affecting things.
Yeah. Like, it's scary.
Yeah.
Like, they even say in the show where like there's like a guy that's like, this has never happened in the history of the world. Like, imagine that, where it's like, this could literally end the world. We might have ended the world. Like, they didn't know, because a nuclear reactor's never blown up before. Up to that point, where it's like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, Chernobyl, check it out. I think it's airing every Monday at 8 for like the next five weeks.
Okay. So
I'm curious to see where it goes from there. And I watched the Clint Eastwood movie The Mule.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Man, I kind of want you to see this, Troy.
Really?
It is literally like the most old manish movie I've ever seen in my entire life. There's literally a scene where he throws off a drug dog by rubbing Ben Gay in its face.
Oh.
It is such an old man movie.
Great.
Yeah. And like, I almost kind of wanted to do it as a show, because there's some shit in here that's so fucked that I just want to talk about in detail.
Okay.
Like, his whole thing is that his family feels like he abandoned them because he was off doing his job. Where it's like, oh, you're so obsessed with your job. You were never there for us. What do you think his job was? Just off the cuff. Just first thing that comes to mind when you think of someone that's not there for that's too obsessed with their job. They're not there for their family.
I don't know. Door-to-door salesman.
He grew flowers.
We need to do this movie. We need to do this movie.
This is literally like, it's one of the most low-key, insane movies I've ever seen in my entire life. Clint Eastwood, old-ass 90-year-old Clint Eastwood has a threesome in this movie.
No.
Dude, I'm telling you.
What? Well, see if we can pencil it in soon so we don't lose steam on this idea.
The mule is ridiculous.
Got it. All right. I'll make it a thing to watch the mule.
He spent some of his drug money saving a VFW haul.
God. Enough. Don't spoil this for me.
Okay. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
There's still enough crazy shit though.
Good. Jesus Christ. That's it. I don't think I really have much of anything. I was on vacation for the most part, so I had an uncomfortable many nights sleep, and then came home and did yard stuff.
There you go.
And now I'm here. I did update on Red Dead, even though it's like the game is half a year old at this point.
Yep.
Red Dead 2. I'm on chapter 5 right now.
There you go.
Got washed up onto the shores of Guarna. What is it? Guana?
Yeah, that island.
The island.
Which
I didn't know was a thing. So now I'm intrigued.
There you are.
Color me intrigued.
Oh my god, you're such a shade of intrigue tonight.
Thank you. But that's it. That's pretty much all I've been into.
I gotta get back into Red Dead because I've gotten into Days Gone.
Yeah.
So I'm still not completely through the story of Red Dead yet.
Oh.
So I'm like, god damn it. I gotta get into it.
So good, man. It's like my favorite thing right now is my escaping.
Beyond the fishing even.
Beyond the fishing. I mean, the fishing's a big part of it.
Yeah. Have you jumped into Arkham Knight at all yet?
Not yet. Not yet. I want to at least beat the story mode of Red Dead.
Okay.
And then go into Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
And then...
Arkham Knight's fun.
Yeah. That's what I hear. And I'll eventually get to it once I beat the story mode in Red Dead in like 10 years.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But no, I'm still on Days Gone right now, and Days Gone is fun.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun.
Is like another zombie one?
That's a zombie game where, yeah, you're like this guy that's motorcycling through like the backwoods of Oregon.
Okay.
And like they unleash, like you almost can't even play when it's at night because there are hordes of zombies everywhere. Like once it turns like nighttime, you have to find a place where you can sleep and sleep it out. Otherwise, you're fucked.
Cool. All right, so that'll be the show for this week. JT, if people want to talk to you about Days Gone, where could they do so?
Man, they can find me at the shit at Bucky for Everyone on Twitter. Also, Bucky for Everyone on Instagram and Bucky for Everyone on Snapchat. Troy.
You can find me in the shit at Troy to the Max on Twitter, and we're both in the shit at Revue Pod on Twitter as well. All of our episodes are also uploaded onto Facebook.com/RevueReviewPod, as well as our hosting site, ReviewReviewPod.podbean.com. We've had a few more subscribers over the last few days.
Yeah, keep them coming.
Fun to see those alerts.
Yeah.
Our episodes are also uploaded onto multiple other listening sites, such as Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, etc. If you do use Apple Podcasts, you can rate and review us there, because a good review will help other people find the show as well.
Yeah.
And if you want to write in, please do so at reviewreviewpod@gmail.com. Review spelled just how it is in the title of this episode.
Yeah. Review as in a review of something, and review as in, oh, it's a show.
Yeah. Yes. Review.
Yeah.
Hopefully the different emphases help you out there.
Yeah. I forgot to bring this up, Troy. How does this rank in your Turner into movies? Platoon. I was kind of tackling this as well. It's hard for me to say.
Because I think both of ours now are fairly different. I liked
Falling Down is still my number one.
I think Falling Down's
my number one. Jerry Maguire is my number two. And then this is where I'm kind of...
I would say this is probably my least favorite one, I think.
Okay.
I don't remember what our second one was.
That was Tombstone. Tombstone and UHF.
Okay. I think I like this one the least, then Tombstone, then maybe Jerry Maguire, then UHF, then Falling Down.
Okay. I think I'm from the top, Falling Down, Jerry Maguire, maybe Tombstone, and then God, I don't know. I might say this is my least favorite then too.
Okay.
Because I'm not that fond of UHF, but like I don't know. I don't think UHF is as pompous as this can be. Which it gets pretty pompous in certain scenes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll say Platoon's probably my least favorite out of the Revue tournament movies.
Review movies.
Yep. Yeah, the review movies.
Well, then, with that being said, join us this Monday because we are dipping into our summer spectacular.
Yeah. And I thought, you know what? This might be a fun thing. Every summer we tackle like a franchise.
Okay. It sounds fun so
like,
far.
Even some of them, like I'm thinking like maybe next summer we do Star Wars and then we just do like flashbacks of like the ones we've done up to that point.
Okay.
Because I look, you know me, I'm always looking for a reason to talk about Star Wars.
You love a good Star Wars.
Even tackling those fucking prequels.
Holy shit. That sounds okay.
But I don't know. Maybe we'll do like a vote on like what franchise we should tackle next. But I think Fast and the Furious needs to be. It's too relevant.
It's too relevant.
It's too relevant, man. Especially that Hobbs and Shaw coming out.
That's right.
God damn.
God damn.
But no, we're doing the first one for our first part of our Fast and Furious summer with The Fast and The Furious.
Yes.
As opposed to their fourth one that's just called Fast and Furious. Which is, it's already insane in its own mind.
Yeah. So that'll be Monday. Yeah. And then pretty much every Monday here throughout we'll be doing another sequel of that.
Yeah, or try to. If we can't,
unless something comes
up. If we
can't
can't make it, then we'll find another thing to do. But throughout the summer, we will be tackling movies of the Fast and Furious franchise up to Fate of the Furious. Or maybe even Hobbs and Shaw if we get to that. Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
It's relevant.
It is relevant, damn it.
Maybe when does that come out? At the end of summer?
I think it's like the middle of August, maybe.
Okay. We'd probably have all these watched by then.
Or beginning
maybe.
Of August. I don't know, we'll figure it out.
Beginning of August might be an odd time for me.
Yeah, I know. I know. That's why I don't want to hold it to you.
Okay.
But we can wait for it to come out on DVD, Troy. You have other things to worry about. We can wait for it to come out on DVD.
Good. You know, my kid.
Yeah. Got another one on the way.
Got another one on the way. Show me the way.
Send me my way.
Anyway, that's the show. We're just derailing with this whole end of the show.
So yeah, tune in for Monday for our dip into the Fast and Furious franchise for our Fast and Furious summer.
Yes. So until then, when you hear from us again, we're talking Fast and Furious. But until then, I am Troy to the Max. Fuck! I have been Troy to the Max Extreme.
I am JT3K.
And of course, we are now off.